are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between our visitors and the Cincinnati Bengals. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. In the process of that kick return, it appears we had an injury. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive, Richardson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Richardson to throw on second down. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Richardson, complete to right. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Throwing on first down, Fitzgerald. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
They run on first down with Jackson, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 35 on second down, Fitzgerald. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. These two teams, the Bengals and Chiefs, they met twice a year ago, and it was the young Bengals prevailing both times. The first, Week 17 in Cincinnati, the Bengals coming through in overtime 34-31. And then, of course, the AFC title game, the big one. The Chiefs up 21-3 at one point. The Bengals charge back. They win it 27-24 and punch their ticket to Super Bowl 56.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On 3rd and 2, Fitzgerald. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit.
NCAA college football season 3-2022 Week 6 games and highlights will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2022.
Shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, and who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense.
The NCAA college football season 3-2022 Week 6 matchup is now live streaming on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2022.
He just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. From 17 yards out.
And the Chiefs put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Week 6 Florida State Seminoles 4-1 Florida Gators 3-2.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
A fairly short kick from the 14.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often. All defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Richardson looking to throw on 2nd down.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Richardson looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
They'll try to run this one in. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
He'll try again, and he's going the wrong way again. He'll lose yardage here back to the 5.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all know how much running backs love getting the ball down near the goal line. They think they're going to find a way into the end zone. He hasn't had that kind of luck so far. Ends up not getting in on the last 2 carries. You know he's going to be upset about a missed opportunity.
Richardson now going to throw on 3rd and goal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
The kick by McManus is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Flush to his right. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 29, Fitzgerald forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
That one goes for 24 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now Richardson to throw on 2nd down. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
All right, try the 50-yarder and miss it. And now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start here with Jackson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
2nd and 5 now. Fitzgerald. And his throw here's incomplete. Prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fitzgerald over the middle, complete. That's Robinson. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
On first down, Fitzgerald.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Richardson. Looking to throw on 2nd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Back to throw. Richardson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Here's Richardson on 1st and 10.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Cameron Brate, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw again.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone.
Week 6 170 CU Horned Frogs 4019 Kansas Jayhawks 5-0.
And the Bengals have moved out in front.
So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
To throw on 3rd down. Fitzgerald, and that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Dancing away at the 35. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Richardson to throw on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chain.
And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield.
Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing to start the drive. Fitzgerald. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Dances by him, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. Richardson now throwing on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
On second down now. It's right. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and that will keep this a 3-point game. So it's a letdown there. They get the ball in tremendous position following the turnover, but they come away empty-handed.
Oh, man, you hate to waste field position like that. Your defense did you the favor of getting you the ball on this side of the 50, but neither the offense nor the kicking team could capitalize.
They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. From the 44, Fitzgerald. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. The sack by Justin Ellis.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again. Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Richardson. Right's got it. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Looking to throw. Richardson. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. "31 yards on the punt there. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1-minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock, give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On 3rd down, Fitzgerald. It's complete to Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st and 10, Fitzgerald. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Fitzgerald. That's caught by Jackson. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. Fitzgerald. Under pressure, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you cross town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run with Jackson out of the gun, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On the draw, it's Jackson. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there. That was a fantastic job of keeping that play alive. And he had a chance to tuck it. I thought he might.
They work on those situations all the time. This is coached, being able to keep your eyes downfield, keep the play alive, and not automatically run with the football. How about that lesson absorbed, and it turned into a big play.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Now a handoff inside, it's Jackson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Fitzgerald, and that is incomplete.
I think that's a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So on 4th down, Andy Reid decides to send in the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Richardson. He finds his man, complete. It's right. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now Richardson on first down. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Back to throw. Richardson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
To throw is Richardson. To throw on 3rd down. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Throwing to start the drive. Fitzgerald. And a quick throw here that's complete. And some room to maneuver. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
The NCAA college football season 3-2022 Week 6 games and highlights will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2022. The NCAA college football season 3-2022 Week 6 matchup is now live streaming on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2022. Week 6 Florida State Seminoles 4-1 Florida Gators 3-2. Week 6 1-7 TCU Horned Frogs 4-0 1-9 Kansas Jayhawks 5-0.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 5.
Zach Taylor's made the decision. He's going to go ahead and throw out the red challenge flag.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
Throwing on 1st down. Fitzgerald. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Operating from the gun. Fitzgerald dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Fitzgerald. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he will have a Chiefs 1st down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
That is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Looking to throw. Fitzgerald. This will be caught by Travis. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
Here's Richardson on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. To throw again, Fitzgerald. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fitzgerald. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fitzgerald. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the give, here comes Jackson. And room there to work it inside the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They run again with Jackson. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fitzgerald. Over the middle, it's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. On 1st down, Fitzgerald. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
So 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is indeed good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Richardson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 8. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out come the Chiefs now. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
From the 40 now on second down. Fitzgerald, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. Looking to throw. Fitzgerald. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensive. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
The touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to swell the lead to 6. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that will keep this a 3-point game. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Back to throw.
Richardson. And this is going to be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back.
And he coughed it up, and the Bengals grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Richardson, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Looking to throw. Richardson being chased out left.
Week 6 Auburn Tigers 3-2-2 Georgia Bulldogs 5-0.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with
NCAA college football season 3-2022 Week 6 games and highlights will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2022.
In order to keep this one alive.
The kick by McManus is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So a big kick to get this back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get into overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you. But you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
The NCAA college football season 3-2022 Week 6 matchup is now live streaming on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2022.
All square now at 13-all as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up. led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy
Week
about
6 Florida State Seminoles 4-1 Florida Gators 3-2.
And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football.
Week 6 matchups of college football season 3-2-0-2-2 will be coming up next.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fitzgerald. And he'll just get rid of it. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things.
Week 6 Auburn Tigers 3-2-2 Georgia Bulldogs 5-0.
You've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
To throw on 3rd down. Fitzgerald. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation. And now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Richardson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Off play action. Richardson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. They'll run on first down. Right.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This from long, very long range. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
Throwing to start the drive. Fitzgerald. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So 4 quarters couldn't decide it, and it'll be the Chiefs who get the football first in this overtime session. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against them throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. Operating from the gun. Fitzgerald steps away to his left. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
On 1st down, Bowman. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bowman. Gets past one man. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there. The contact on that run came pretty early. Nice job just to push forward and get some extra yardage. Good gain.
It certainly was, because the initial contact did not signal the end of the play. His mind, his body, his legs said keep churning forward, and he gained more yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Right. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
On 1st down, it's Wright. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 54 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested, because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game, and they know it helps their team.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Richardson now, operating from the gun. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A big loss there of about 7 yards on 1st and goal, so now it's 2nd down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
Now Richardson going to throw on 3rd and goal. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Call it a loss of 8 there, and it's going to lead to a 4th down, 4th and goal.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Bengals are going to get out of here with a W. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.